welcome to the Tom Driver Show. Pat O'Melia here, your concerned Tom Driver residents. While you watch the show, we try to give you all the information that's pertinent to Tom Driver. First off, which I believe will happen next week, I believe Tom Driver restaurants will get a reprieve, and they will get to boost their indoor dining. I believe we'll go from 25% to 50%. Murphy didn't give you the additional funding for when we stopped and started indoor dining. They were supposed to reimburse the restaurateurs for the money they lost purchasing all that food and meat and such, and then it went bad because we didn't go ahead and open the indoor dining. And two, it's getting a little bit cold out there. To have outdoor dining, this week is nice, but winter is approaching, fall is here, and you really don't want a bunch of portable heaters out on the sidewalk. Propane portable heaters. They're like having little bombs out on your sidewalk. And you have a lot of them by the curb. Somebody hits it with their car, things could get ugly. So last thing we really need is a bunch of portable little bombs on the sidewalk. So it's best to open up and expand the indoor dining. So Shut Up and Eat and Burger 25 and the Tom's River Diner, Crystal Diner, all the diners, they'll be happy to expand inside. And the sooner we do it, the better. We get more people go back to work, get more people off unemployment. We have to reopen the economy. Today we're going to talk about the Hines Street investigation. We talked about this a few weeks ago when we interviewed Mo Hill. Shaky land sale at best, but Mo did stop it. Media bias. The Hunter Biden hard drive, it is astonishing me on how this is being covered. Tom's River parking, they're going to build a couple of parking garages. Kudos. And we're going to talk about shared services. You're watching the Tom River Show. I'll be right back.
You know those times when you need to see the doctor, but you just can't get to the doctor? So where do you go? Go to the App Store, download the TeleMed app from RWJ Barnabas Health, and you see the doctor right away. From any mobile device, whenever you want, wherever you are.
Quality care, no appointment necessary. The doctor is online when you download the TeleMed app.
Don't you feel better already?
RWJ Barnabas Health. Let's be healthy together.
Burns Brothers Memorials, Monuments, and Markers, 787 Tunley Avenue, Jersey City. Hudson County's only monument maker, serving all faiths and cemeteries. Design, studio, and large inventory on site. Cemetery inscriptions and custom orders welcome. Burns Brothers Memorials, Monuments, and Markers, 787 Tunley Avenue, just south of Secaucus Road. Craftsmanship that will last for all eternity. Burns Brothers, Jersey City, Albert H. Hopper, North Arlington. Visit us on the net. We're back. You're watching the Tom Driver Show. Pat O'Melia here. Me and my nemesis, the timer. Like I said, hopefully that happens next week. That's what I'm hearing, so we can open indoor dining. I know the state has come out with some recommendations for Thanksgiving. I think in California, they're limiting you. Yeah, it's like we have dictatorships to how many people you can have over for Thanksgiving, your family. Hopefully by November we're further away. But I will say this, we're taping a demo for a medical show we're producing in our sister studio in North Bergen, a Hudson Media Group. We're in the Seaside studio here. The doctor was talking about the second wave of COVID that everybody's predicting. He's almost guaranteeing it's going to come. So again, get your flu shot. At least you don't get the flu and and you're confused if you have COVID. Any kind of protection will help you. For that matter, I'll go to Rite Aid this week on Route 37. Get my flu shot. You get flu shots almost anywhere. So I got a shop right there. You're checking out. It's probably the cashier doesn't shoot you up. The state is investigating the canceled sale of the Hines Street property. We had Mo Hill on recently. We talked about this. Everything that had to do with the sale of this property was shaky at best. Criminal could be also another way to look at it. But all the mistakes in handling the sale of this property were mistakes made by the auction house. Mo Hill and the council aren't sitting there. It's the auction house that handles this. And like I said, how they handled it was shaky at best. And like I said, as soon as Mo Hill got wind of this, because the land, they were going to sell it at the auction house for $250,000. It was valued at like almost $1 million. So it shouldn't have been on that list as it is. And, you can have a reserve at an auction. There's no reason that this land got on that list and was going to sell for $250,000. So it does need to be looked into. Do we need the state to investigate it? Transparency-wise, I guess the AG is going to look at it, I suppose. But if anybody's thinking, Mo Hill did something, Mo Hill didn't do anything. When Mo got wind of it, Mo canceled the sale. Let's be realistic. Do you think Mo Hill is going to risk his reputation, a well-earned reputation, as a doctor, dentist by trade, an admiral in the Navy, a 2 or 3 term councilman in Toms River, and now the mayor, for a land sale? Mo was not that guy. There may be people around him that would, but that's not Mo. See, I'll get into that further as we go along, but Mo didn't do anything wrong here. The issue is, first off, I need to know who put that piece of land on the auction list, first off. Then I want to know who approved the list to go to the auction house. That's where, what we talk about, the devil in the details, that's where you're going to find the political hack in the details here. We need to find out how that occurred. We need to know why the auction house negotiated with the buyer who had buyer's remorse, best to describe it. I didn't want to pay as much as I bid. I got excited. You watch Meekum auctions for the cars. They go to the next bidder if there's a problem. Same thing with Barrett Jackson. Any auction I ever went to, if there was a problem, they went to the next bidder. And allegedly, there were quite a few bidders. Why did the auction house negotiate with the buyer remorse buyer? Was there a political hack saying, hey, do something here, take care of this, do this? That needs to be answered. Was the auction house instructed by some political hack? That's a problem. See, one of Mo's problems is, Mo didn't have the backing of Toms River. Everybody, the Toms River Republican Club, the Ocean County, everybody was behind Coronado. And it was a good candidate. You would have been fine with him. So Mo didn't come in with the normal gang around. He came in with the rebels, not the Toms River dyed-in-the-wool municipal people and Republican. Mo came in with the rebel. The rebels won the election with Mo Hill. He was not the choice of anybody in Toms River. Mo Hill needs to clean out all the political hacks that are around him. Again, you dance with who brought you to the party, and that's the people who were part of Mo's campaign. A lot of these people, you want hanging signs, ringing doorbells, you don't want them at City Hall. We normally give people a 1-year ride, and then you realize they're political hacks and you shift them away. I'm sure the same political hack dumbasses who advised and were involved in the sale of this piece of land were the same ones that advised Mo to terminate Don Guardian, who will get like a $200,000 plus parting gift from Toms River. Mo needs to clean some house. Mo is not your problem. The people around Mo be the problem. All right, we're going to break for commercial. You're watching the Toms River Show. I'll be right back.
Newport, the luxury waterfront community on the Hudson River, offers a quality of life you deserve in 10 high-rise rental towers with amenities such as the on-site Newport Path subway, light rail and ferry service, Newport Town Square, 3 playgrounds, dog run, upscale restaurants, retail giants like Sears, JCPenney, Macy's, and Target. Morton Williams Supermarket is just outside your front door. A health and fitness club, spa, skating rink, and medical facilities are also on site. NewportNJ.com. Enjoy the New York skyline from Newport Town Square. Manhattan is just one path stop away or quick ride through the Holland Tunnel. Nursery and private elementary schools all on site. 12-screen movie theater at the Newport Center Mall. Want to visit Newport? Stay at the Westin or Marriott Hotel. Go to NewportNJ.com for details. Newport has luxurious towers, great restaurants, shopping, New York skyline views, schools, playgrounds, a marina and yacht club, gym, spa, fine wine, fine living. It's incredible. It's you. NewportNJ.com. Newport, live like you want.
We're back. Got my coffee. Pat O'Melia here, Toms River Show. If Mo does not clean out the political hacks of his, I'll say, inner circle, there'll be more embarrassments for Mo to come in the future. And some he may not be able to overcome. So, strong advice. Clean out the circle. You know, again, I'm very involved in Hudson County politics. Mayor Steve Fulop, he's about to run for his third term in Jersey City. When he first got elected, he was part of the rebel group too. He wasn't part of the HCDO, he was an outsider. And the rebels won and they took City Hall. And Mayor Fulop had to do some house cleaning after a while because he kept getting bit on his butt by members of his group, who, again, good for hanging signs, good for ringing doorbells, not good for being in City Hall. Mayor Fulop eliminated a lot of those problems, and he no longer has those embarrassing situations that kept popping up. Kudos to good management. Media bias. I've been in the media now for 20-some-odd years, from actually more than that when you go back to my wrestling radio days, from my Jersey City talking, Hudson County talking radio shows to the television. And I watch the news religiously. I've never seen media bias as I'm seeing now. And I would defend a lot of these people when they say, well, it's fake news, full of guys running with a story. I don't like any story where there's unnamed sources. There should be no story, unnamed sources. Normally, when you write a story, there's one or two people, and then you have a couple of unnamed sources. We got stories out there with 0 named sources. Hunter Biden's hard drive. Now, you know, their hard drives was copied. The original one is with the FBI, as I understand it. The emails of Hunter Biden, the photos coming out of the hard drive of Hunter Biden. There is no doubt this is Hunter Biden's hard drive that he brought. He brought his computer in to get repaired. Every paper that I've read today, with the exception of the New York Post, had 0 coverage of this story. Now, remind you, we're on the eve of a presidential election, and we have no coverage of this story with the exception of the New York Post. Now, if there is any kind of coverage with some of the sites, they're talking about Russian conspiracy. There is no Russian conspiracy here. There was never a Russian conspiracy. We went through all that. The Russians aren't coming. There's no Russian conspiracy. The fact is, Hunter Biden brought his MacBook Pro into a computer repair place because he spilled coffee on it or soda or whatever he spilled, and he wanted to repair it. Now, with the money he allegedly is banking from these connections, allegedly from his father, you think he'd just buy a new friggin' laptop instead of getting this one repaired, which he probably did, because he doesn't go back and pick up the old laptop with all this incriminating information on there. He goes out and buy. I guess he bought a new one. He left it there for like a year or so. The guy, opens it up. He's going to use it for parts or something, and lo and behold, he sees all this Biden stuff. It's in the news. He's guy's running for president. He's been a senator for years and years and years. He knows he's got something. So we made a copy of that hard drive, and the original hard drive was given to the FBI. Emails and photos from the hard drive. Nobody's arguing with it. They're all real. There's pictures of Hunter and Dad and all these individuals from overseas. So there is no doubt that the emails and the pictures, all this is legit. All the emails, all the conversations there that are coming out, all legit. And it amazes me when I'm looking at various talking heads on television lying through their teeth, either that or they're such incompetence. And it can't be, you know how good you have to be bad on TV? You do your time and you work your way up through the ranks, especially on, the big news shows. It astounds me that the alliance, it's like we're idiots. We don't understand it. I grew up with Cronkite and Bill Buttell and Roger Grimsley, David Brinkley. You could count on what they said in a news show. We don't have that now. Every day I watch Channel 12 News, Pix 11, Eyewitness News. And none of these were covering the story, and it astonishes me. We got Google and Facebook and Twitter blocking the New York Post. This is censorship. When we can't believe the free press, we've lost one of our rights, maybe more of our rights to come. Right now, the way we are blocking this story, whether it's Google, Twitter, the other news agencies, whatever it is, NJ.com today, I looked at it, nothing on NJ.com. We're no different than Russia. We're no different than China. We're no different than Nazi Germany. When we want to suppress the truth and control the press, we're no better than those three. This is a really dark day in American history. You're watching Tom's River Show. I'll be right back.
Good Friend Self-Storage in North Bergen, New Jersey is a fully climate-controlled facility equipped with state-of-the-art security, packing supplies, a Refer Friend program, and multiple loading docks convenient for commercial use. Located just off of Route 3 at 4301 Tunnelly Avenue, Route 1 and 9. Call 201-867-2444 or visit us on the web today. Good Friend Self-Storage. Let us be your good friend. PenPen Properties, Jersey City. Shaping the workplace with state-of-the-art office spaces that address your company desires. Building residences that define your home environment. Adjacent to all modes of transportation with on-site parking available. The right address, the right lease. Call 201-521-9000 or visit online at penandpintoproperties.com. PenPen Properties, building Jersey City for everyone.
We're back. You're watching the Tom's River Show. Pat O'Meara here. You, Tom's River there. Let's go back to Tom's River. We did a little national stuff. Back to Tom's River. Kudos to Tom's River for designating a developer to build 2 parking garages. I think they're going to be built on lots now on Iron Street, and the other will be on Water Street to increase the amount of available parking for Tom's River. Kudos to that. You want to revitalize business, and God, we got to do everything we can to revitalize business after the COVID. Hopefully we get out of the COVID. Hopefully the doctor I was talking to yesterday in the demo show for Hudson Health is wrong, because he was scary to listen to. You need to revitalize the restaurants and the small businesses in Tom's River and the quality of life of the people who live in Tom's River. And know what does that? Parking. When you can be able to go out and you can go shopping. Remember when you used to go to movies? Go to movies. I miss going to movies. I would go to movies with my kids, my 2 daughters. Have dinner after or before. It was a good time to be with your kids. And something we could all share. That's gone. But, whether you go food shopping, whatever the case is, you want to be able to park. You want to go somewhere and be able to park. I come from Jersey City. That's home for me. We are an anti-auto city in Jersey City. It's becoming, every week, it gets worse and worse to own a car in Jersey City. And when I'm making these things up, this is serious. We build high-rises on municipal parking lots. We allow that. This happens all over the city. We sell a parking lot to a developer. It's a lot easier to build on a vacant parking lot than it is to demo a building. We allow private parking lots to be developed into high rises. We lose parking spaces in Jersey City all the time. And we're embracing Vision Zero. I have no problem with safety, but the safety we're applying here is at the sake of parking. Now, I've grown up in Jersey City. From my days as a little kid riding bikes, we got to have protected bike lanes because I guess nobody knows how to ride a bike. I rode all around Jersey City as a kid, 8 years old. I managed to get home every day, and I wasn't like, Mom would be there. I'm like, God, you made it home again today. Have a bicycle. All my friends and I, we biked all over Jersey City. We'd have protected bike lanes. We made it home every day. Not one of my friends or anybody I ever know did not make it home. We didn't get hit by cars. None of that happened. We didn't have protected bike lanes. We didn't have a bump out curbs. We didn't lose parking on the corners, and especially if you live in the Heights of Jersey City, where most of the people from Tom's River are from. The Gene Pool is not far from Jersey City. You run the risk of parking too close to the corner, but parking is always tight. Now we're just taking more. We put these boulder rods in at the corners. It is awful. We allow high rises to be built with little parking. We just had one whole project that's being built. something like 2,000 down by what they call Soho West now. It's downtown Jersey City by the Holland Tunnel. It's going to be like 1,100 units of housing built and ground floor retail. And I believe the entire count of parking spots were like 650. 1,100 retail rental units and retail on ground floor, and we got like 650 parking spots. Where are the other people parking? And we're delusional in Jersey City. Thank God we aren't like that in Toms River. We believe, and the mayor swears by this, and many people do, well, the people moving over, coming to Jersey City, they don't have cars, so we don't have to worry about parking for them. But then after we build these things, there's cars all over the friggin' place. Behind Christ Hospital, again, if you're from Jersey City or your parents, well, Hoboken Avenue, we finally built there. We build anything. If it doesn't move, we'll build on it. And, of course, nobody's going to have a car in these new developments. There's cars all over the place. I mean, the cars going all over Hoboken Avenue, every side street in there, where there were no cars before, because it was an industrial area. And that's why we'll always have a job problem in Jersey City, because we also build on our industrial sites and our commercial sites. Build a residential, build a condo over there. So there ain't no friggin' jobs. So we will always have a job issue. We're talking about developing Journal Square into like a neighborhood. There'll be high-rise residential and condos. No jobs. So what once was an economic engine for the city will be a neighborhood. Thankfully, Toms River doesn't look that way. They're in real world. Kudos to the planning board, zoning board, Mayor Mo Hill and the city council to approve these garages. It will improve your quality of life, and it will give the small businesses in Toms River a fighting chance. When you can go out to dinner or shopping or run your errands or whatever you're doing, you'll be able to park and go and do it. All right, you're watching the Toms River Show. I'm going to break the commercial. I'll be right back.
You know those times when you need to see the doctor, but you just can't get to the doctor? So where do you go? Go to the App Store, download the TeleMed app from RWJ Barnabas Health, and you see the doctor right away. From any mobile device, whenever you want, wherever you are.
Quality care, no appointment necessary. The doctor is online when you download the TeleMed app.
Don't you feel better already?
RWJ Barnabas Health.
Consumer Carpets, 3408 Kennedy Boulevard in the Jersey City Heights, your one-stop store for residential and commercial floor treatments, carpeting, linoleum, tiles, laminates, hardwood floors, area rugs, remnants, all major brands, all in stock. Free estimates, same-day installation. Consumer Carpets, it's savings, selection, installation. Credit cards and debit cards accepted. Financing available. Consumer Carpets, price to fit your budget, installation to fit your schedule. On the net at consumercarpets.com. Consumer Carpets, Jersey City, 201-792-2712. The Jersey City Medical Center. You know it for its award-winning, life-saving ambulance service. It's also your health hub, with health and wellness locations staffed with certified professionals all through Hudson County. The Jersey City Medical Center, here to help you with your healthy, here when you need us the most. The Jersey City Medical Center. Visit us on the net to learn more. Jersey City Medical Center, Robert Wood Johnson, Barnabas Health Facility. Let's be healthy together. We're back. Toms River Show. Pat O'Melia here. You there? Now, we defended Mo Hill. We did a little national stuff. We praised Mo Hill and Toms River. Now it's time to kick him in the butt. Shared services. Now, when Mo was doing his live TV shows in the studio here, and he was in the debates and all, we would talk about shared services. Toms River is quickly approaching the unaffordable, if it isn't there already. It's an expensive town. We have the same issue in Jersey City. It's amazing how Jersey City and Toms River, there are such parallels between the two. Somewhere along the line, we have to start cutting costs in Toms River, not just because of COVID-19. The Mo is laid and furloughed off 300-400 people. You have to continue. Now, it doesn't necessarily mean jobs have to be lost. We have to reduce costs or increase revenue. One of the easiest ways to do that, again, but it takes managing. You have to manage this, and you have to want to do this, is shared services. And we're still waiting for Mo to come out and talk about how he's going to do shared services. Toms River, the county seat, it's the biggest city in the county. The first place Mo and Toms River should be looking at to do shared services is with the county. And I want you to remember, not only are you paying taxes to Tom's River, you pay taxes to Ocean County. So you're getting a double whammy there. Actually, the third leg of that milking stool is school taxes, which, as expensive as things are getting, that should probably come under the control of the municipal government. Or follow Steve Sweeney's lead and reduce the number of school districts. I can't get the word out. You know, we have a gazillion superintendents and deputy superintendents and assistant superintendents banking down like $100 million a year in salary that you're paying for. You. Schools generate zero revenue. They're an expense. And when you have, I think the last count was 590 school districts in New Jersey. There are more school districts than there are municipalities. That we need to cut down and get rid of the redundancy with personnel. And redundancy is the code word for you paying taxes on both ends. The DPW department in Tom's River, that could generate revenue because, you know, road and parks, the county has road and park crews, Tom's River has roads and parks crews, Seaside Heights does, Oatley Beach does, La Valette does, Lakewood does, everybody does. If we shared that, we could cut expenses because everybody has the same departments. So you have redundancy. Again, I'm looking more towards the county, but yeah, you take road work and the state you can get involved in, like Route 37. We can do road work on Route 37. We can do paving on Tom's River. We can do paving in Seaside Heights. We can do paving for the county of Hudson. And Tom's River could take the lead on that and make money. We could bill other municipalities in the county, or we can have them take some of our burden. It works. Every department in Tom's River should be analyzed to see just how much redundancy and duplication is between Tom's River and the County of Ocean. Again, two entities you pay for. Can we outsource some of it? Can we share it with the other surrounding community? Can we take in their work and have those communities pay us? Again, the more we could cut costs or bring in revenue, it saves you money. These are the things that have to be done. And again, when I'm talking Tom's River and Ocean County, you're paying for both of them. And like I said, somewhere along the line, you got to look at the schools. Legal departments. McGuckin, who is the legal counsel for Tom's River, he bangs down like $500,000 a year, something like that. And we have other lawyers. Can we share legal with the county of Ocean? Can we share legal services? If we have all this expensive legal service, can we do legal for Seaside Park, Seaside Heights, and get paid for it? And again, revenue coming in, cut your expense. From senior services to the building department, the more we can share and get paid for, or have the county take some of the burden off the shoulders of Tom's River, the better it is for you, the people of Tom's River. Because as I remind you, not only are you paying taxes to Tom's River, you are paying taxes to Ocean County. So it's a double whammy, and somewhere along the line, to save your future and get too many hands out of your pockets, you're going to have to look at the school budget and how you can, tremendous amount of redundancy all over the state. You pay state taxes, you're paying for all that redundancy. I'm out of time. You're watching the Tom's River Show. I'm Pat O'Melia. Be good, be safe. Talk to you next week. Good night.